Assalamualaikum guys. In this video I'm going to demonstrate some of the building mathematical functions in Python. Before further ado, let's first understand what is building functions. So the building functions is that functions which already in the interpreter, that is which is the function which is already in the program. So there are two types of functions that we take later on the video. So before much further ado, I want you guys to watch this video till the end so that you understand the concept of the building functions in Python. Indeed, it is a mathematical functions. So let's the first function of the mathematical building functions, that is bin. So let me demonstrate for you to understand completely. I want to take x as 15 and another variable taken y, which is going to be 1010001. So this is my two variables. If I want to convert the given number into a binary number, so I will use the function binary. So for to that I just have to write here print bin as the color changes because of bin is, since bin is a mathematical functions, so bin of x it gives the results. You might thought, what is 0b? 0b represents the number systems. I had already uploaded the video about the number systems. There are 4 types. If you doesn't watch that video, then you have to watch that previous video, then you will be understanding completely what about the number systems is. So I want to print out another thing, that is print the bin value of y. It is also printed. Since I give the number long, the answer is also in the long way. So my next function is going to be char function, char building function. So let's say I want to give the variable c equals to 66 and the variable v equals to 50. So if I want to print those two numbers in the ASCII table, then we have to use the function called chr. So chr, as the color changes, since it is a building function, so the color changes. So the value, the 66 in the ASCII table is b. Then I will do the same to v also. So print char v, the key one. So char v is the 2. 50 represents to 2 in the ASCII table. So let's move on to next building functions, that is ORD. So what does an ORD refers to? So it is the opposite of CHR. That is, if I want to give here the value as y, okay, and y value, t value of t variable value is going to be capital T. And what if I want to print the number in the ASCII table with respect to these values of the variables? So for to that I need to use ORG as the building functions. The color changes of x 65 represents to y. Here another thing, that 65 is represents to greater y, that is capital E. and it is different for lowercase c also. So if I want to print out org of t, then it will also print out 84. So the t value in the ASI table is 84. The next one is ABS apps. You might wonder it is going to be 6-pack apps, but it is not. Indeed it is not, because it is going to be a function in the Python, so that it will be easy for you to print the accurate results. So if I want to print out, let me just take out the variables x equals to 40 and another variable y equals to, let's say, minus 40. So I take those two variables. So it will so the function abs will uses of for 2 returns an absolute value of a number. So what that means, let me print out, you understand that completely. So abs the color changes, it will be print out 40, the absolute value is 40, that's we know. And let me print out another one, the abs absolute value of y, it is also 40, because it is giving out it is just like a modulus. If you put on the modulus of in the number, then it will become the minus into positive, and positive become positive itself. So that's what the abs function is. Let's move on to next one, that is round. So you might wonder it will be easy. It is easy. Indeed, Python is easy as compared to another language. I'm not criticizing any language, but just I'm telling about my experience and my opinion. So don't take it as seriously as you want. So it will be beneficial for you. Let's say s equals to 17.9. As you know, the rounding of principles in the secondary level, and that will be useful in programming also, so that you will also implement it betterly. So to understand you completely, I make this video you guys to be implement in the programming languages. So easy. Now let's move on to next, that is max function. Max function is also the same thing as in the minimum function, that is it will print out the minimum, but here it will print out the maximum. So I want to take same kind of things here, same kind of thing here also, 1 2 3 4 5, so that you might better understand what the concept really is. So let me print out the max function of this list. So let me just tell you about the list. So list is mutables. The values could be able to change by you, but in tuple it will never be changing. The values are immutable. Since it is tuple, it will never going to change the value, but it will store down the value, but it will never going to delete out. So let's just move on. So the maximum value of this list is 5, as we know already. So another thing is the simple one, that is the sum. So let me print out the same thing, sum of the two things. So okay, it is also based on list, but it is also you have, if you want to use in a normal, then you will also do that, but I'm using in the list. It will also be printed. So let's see what it would be. The sum function is sum about my list, that is 3. It is 15. Indeed it is 15. So more likely to implement about sum function, then I want to print a value as 100 and b value as 200. So the sum would be here, print sum of a and b. Here it is not let's say we have to use another variable. So let's say, don't just move out from this video guys, because you are learning through error. That will be beneficial for you, most probably. Maybe let's say it also doesn't work. So let's say print sum of a, then it will also not. So the sum function is used for in the list, or to sum up the values in the list. Let's move on to next, and that would be its type function. You might also heard this, what is the type function is. So let me just implement that. 7.9 1.00 is also v equals to character w, b equals to, let's say, false. So if I want to print out what would be that variable's data type, then I have to use the function called type and have to put the variable's name. So since it is in the decimal point number, it is given as the class float, since it is a float data type. And I want to print out another thing, that is the type of the value, the variable v, and then it will be string, as we know already. So let's move on to another one, that is the type of b. So it is a boolean, we already know boolean. So that's also the same thing, similar to boolean. So last but not the least in our list to show right for you is id function. So what is the id function? So id functions returns the identity of the object. So what would be that? For example, the address of the object in memory. It will be better understand when I implement this in the program. So let it x as 30 and y as the character b. So if I want to print out the id function here of x, what it will be. So here it gives us the number, a bunch of number, what it would be. So for to understand that, the address of the object, here the object x30, x equals to 30, and that is the address of the object in the memory. So this is the address of the variable x, that it has the value of 30, and this is the address of the particular variable in the Python programming language, Python programming. So print let's say id of y, what it will be. It also gives the bunch of number. So this is how the video of mathematical functions, that is building mathematical functions, are in likely to. So here are some of the functions that I want to implement here. So another function called pow. You might see this is as a funny that it is to represent the power. Let's say a equals to 5 and v equals to 10. Okay, if I want to print out the power of a into b, so it gives the exact answer. If I want to print out the same thing of power of v into a, it is 1000. 10 power 5 is 100,000. 100,000 is 10 to the power 5. So let's move on. As I told you earlier, this about ceil function and flow function. So what about ceil? Let me just print out, as I want to give here the value in the decimal. I forgot to do the variable name c equals to and f equals to 3.5. So these are the two variables which I want to implement the ceil functions. So print ceil, ceil, ceil. So it is math.ceil. Let's say it will work or not of x. Math is not defined since I didn't import the math, so it will now be print out. Print math dot ceil. You might wonder that it will give the whole damn thing in the function x. So the value of x not, we are using c, so print, it will move on to top. It doesn't have to be, so move c. So it is 3. As I told you, the ceil function will be going upwards and the flow function is going up downwards. So let me print out the flow function to the same thing so that you can understand it better. Math dot flow of the c value is 2. Here I gave the ceil value of the c function, it's c variable, it print out 3. Since the ceil function is going upward and the flow function is going downward, it will be printed as 2. So the last function that I want to implement here is a equals to 2 and b equals to 3. And if I want to print out the square root of the math.sqrt, square root, if I want to print out the square root of the given variable 2. The square root of 2 is this, the damn thing, the damn whole integer part, that is the float part. If I want to print out, it will give in this just milliseconds. It is not like a human being, it is a computer indeed. So the value, the square root of 3 is 1.2. Oh my god. So this is about the general mathematical built-in functions. If you want to learn these kinds of video, so guys, make sure you to subscribe this channel. If you subscribe this channel, then you would also realize how to code, because this is our era of coding. If you lost this, then you would be the loster of forever. So subscribe this channel at any cost so that you can learn it better and implement it better. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much. Bye bye.